Hey everyone, it's Dell from VA. It's the 31st of March, and we've officially arrived at vlog number 1. Before we get too deep into anything, I want to thank everyone for their feedback. I got some great comments, some creative ideas, and I'm going to try to incorporate all of those into future vlogs. The best comment that I did receive was that someone felt like they were in a class, and my intent and feel was to have it sound and look like a newscast to give you information about COVID-19 and other things like that. So in the future, I'll try to not be as teachery and be more newscastery. All right, thanks. Before I post a table of contents, I wanted to talk about some highlights that I've seen in the news the past couple of days. Disney is announcing that they are going to push back the date of their live action Mulan movie. AMC movie theaters have put on order digital thermometers that they will use to test people's temperatures before they enter theaters when all the movie theaters reopen. Keep in mind, AMC is the largest movie theater in the United States. The national average for gas in the United States has hit $1.99. That's the first time in 4 years that it's under $2. In Milan, Italy, they built a temporary hospital and it took them only 10 days. See what people can do when they have teamwork. And lastly, in Chicago, a hospital turned the lobby into an emergency room to meet the demand for new COVID-19 patients. Okay, let's talk baseball. Now we're going to talk about the 3 greatest hitters. This topic is very disputable because many people use different stats: home runs, average, hits, slugging percentage. There's a myriad of stats to use, OPS. I am going to focus on my 3 choices. And if you have a different opinion, please post them in the comments and we will revisit again at another time. First, we're going to talk about Theodore Samuel Williams, Ted Williams, aka Teddy Ballgame. I mean, his stats are undisputable, but more importantly, he was pretty much predicting his own destiny when he said, "All I want out of life is for when I walk down the street, people to look at me and say, 'There goes the greatest hitter that ever lived.'" And I doubt many people can argue with that. Now, here's a lesser known fact about Ted Williams that my lawyer filled me in on. There is a place called Roger Williams University. Roger Williams University has a school of law. I call that place TBSOL, for the Teddy Ballgame School of Law, because no one knows what Roger Williams actually looked like. So they used Ted Williams' face on a statue that they built outside of the school. And here's a small picture of it on an ashtray. Pretty interesting fact, isn't it? The second hitter we're going to discuss is a player so renowned that he only needs one name: Ichiro. Ichiro played 9 seasons for the Japanese baseball team Orix, ORIX, and another 19 seasons in the majors, for a total of 28 seasons. During his 19 seasons in the majors, Ichiro had 3,089 hits, but his overall production for those 28 seasons combined is 4,367, or just a notch above Pete Rose, about 115 hits. With a career 311 batting average, I'm pretty sure he's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, but there's some other key notes on him. 10-time Major League All-Star, 10 straight 200 hit seasons, and he holds the record for single season total hits of 262, which he set in 2004. Obviously, no discussion of hitting is complete without Peter Edward Rose, aka Charlie Hustle. Most people know Pete Rose as being banned from baseball for betting on baseball and not being in the Hall of Fame, even though he is the all-time hit king with 4,256 hits. Besides being baseball's all-time hit king, he was the 1963 Rookie of the Year, was a 17-time All-Star, made the All-Star team at 5 different positions, and was a member of the 1970s Big Red Machine. Although Pete Rose will never make it into the Baseball Hall of Fame in his lifetime, I do hope that in my lifetime he does make it so I can finally make a trip to Cooperstown and go on a little vacation and visit all the gold plaques and really enjoy the history of baseball. Let's transition into talking about the market. Now, the market has been up and down due to the coronavirus fears that people have, and they're being very reactionary to the market. So, what I wanted to let people know was don't be reactionary to the market, stay the course. It's a good opportunity to review your personal investments and to review your personal retirement strategies and really look at where you could find key opportunities, 1 or 2 key opportunities that can really help you. I do recommend that you seek out a financial planner. They have a little designation called CFP, and that means Certified Financial Planner. Talk to someone at Charles Schwab, Fidelity, Edward Jones, any of those places you can find some help. Now, when you reach out to someone for some investment advice, make sure you sit down with them, find out a little bit about them, because they're going to ask you a lot of questions about you and your goals. But you want to make sure that you find someone you're comfortable with, someone you might have some things in common with, because you want to realize that this is a long-term strategy, and this is a person that is going to be a major part of your team to help you succeed. There is a CFP website to find a professional, and I'm going to try to figure out how to place it up here in a link somewhere or either up there too. So look for that here in a little bit. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Jim Cramer, but he has a show called Mad Money on CNBC. It's from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. It's a good way to just get caught up on things in the market. In the evenings when you get home, you can still end up catching Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, so you won't have to worry about missing your favorite primetime shows. Okay, let's talk about poetry. Now, I picked this topic because there's famous lines that people often misquote, and I always find that kind of funny. And recently on TV, I've seen a lot of that, so I wanted to get into some of those famous poems that people tend to they remember, but they tend to mess up the key line. Cannons to the right of me, cannons to the left of me, cannons all around me, volley and thunder. Now, the funny thing is, I've always quoted that, but it is totally wrong. And you'll see that in a lot of shows if they ever mention The Charge of the Light Brigade by Lord Alfred Tennyson. The actual piece of that poem is cannon to the right of them, cannon to the left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered. Now, that is a historical poem about the Battle of Balaclava during the Crimean War in 1854. I've posted some links down below, and you can check that out, learn about Lord Alfred Tennyson and the actual Charge of the Light Brigade. Another famous poem was used in the movie G.I. Jane with Demi Moore. It's a D.H. Lawrence poem, and people often quote it as a poem called Wild Thing. And it goes, I've never seen a wild thing feel sorry for itself. A small bird will fall frozen dead from its perch without having felt sorry for itself. Unfortunately, that's totally wrong. The actual name of the poem is Self Pity. It is by D.H. Lawrence, and it is, I never saw a wild thing sorry for itself. A small bird will drop frozen dead from a bough without ever having felt sorry for itself. The last poem we'll discuss today is by Robert Frost, and people often mistitle it as The Road Less Traveled, and that's totally wrong as well. It's actually called The Road Not Taken and is often misquoted because one of the last lines of the poem is, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. I'll have links for all the poems down below so you can check them out, and please do enjoy them. Today's outro is about reducing stress during your COVID-19 lockdown and or quarantine, whichever your state has. I've put two links down below for you to check out. One is from the American Institute of Stress, and it talks about how reviewing and looking at photographs of nature have a calming effect on the brain and can help you reduce stress in as little as 5 minutes. And there's another link to Pinterest that has a ton of nature pics that you can check out and pick ones that you like, and build your own type of collage to help you reduce stress. So I hope everyone's doing well. I hope you enjoyed this video, and please do leave a comment down below. Subscribe to the channel; it's free, and you'll get alerts whenever a new video pops up from me. Okay, take care, be safe, make sure you're hydrating, and wash your hands.